Good morning, beautiful Earth family, soul family. How's everybody doing today? It's Friday right now, July 16th. Beautiful energies coming in today. We're coming out of a bunch of solar flares. So if you felt this last week's been very, a lot of inner child healing. So if you feel those wounds coming up, those triggers coming up, keep feeling into them. Don't become them. Don't let them take over your being. Don't let the subconscious take over the conscious. You're doing so much deep work, and be so proud of yourself for how far you're coming. I just finished mowing my lawn. My parents are coming for a visit today, so I'm very excited. Nobody's come to visit me for quite a while, just with everything that's gone on. I live a ways away from most of my family, so I'm always very grateful when somebody comes to visit. Out here in my space in Calgary, it's just beautiful today. It's smoky, unfortunately, because there's forest fires all over BC and the wind is blowing the smoke into Alberta. But you know what? I look at that as a cleansing and clearing, and I'm not taking away from anybody who's lost their homes in these fires because it's a very sad time. But the smoke in the atmosphere, it's like a giant smudge for humanity right now. It might be hard on some people's lungs. It might be, I had some extra allergies this morning, but you feel through it, and we have to accept what is, right? And the more we fight, the more discord and energy we put out there. So I want to talk a little bit about karma. And karma in this day and age. Karma has been created by our thought forms. Karma is centuries and lifetimes of thought forms. Sin is a man-made creation. There was no sin before. And these karmic cycles have created sin. We've created right and wrong, good and bad. We've created all these man-made fears. Like no father, no God would want to hurt his children. Like if you think, would you ever want to burn your children eternally? Sometimes you might want to strangle them, but you'd never want to make them suffer, right? And no God, no source, no universe would want us to suffer. So just remember that. Karma's like a train. And when we feel these energies come in, this train coming at us, it's only forward. It's only forward momentum. No backward. We're not going back. We've done things. We need to let go of that guilt and shame because that leaves a karmic imprint that we have to overcome. The more guilty and shameful we feel about things in our past, the more we hold tightly to that trauma, that fear, that pain, the more we're going to have to go through that karmic hamster wheel instead of going forward. So when you feel those thought patterns come up about, 20 years ago, if I only had done this differently, this would be different. You got to let that go. You got to heal that part of your inner being, your inner child, that young person that you were, and let that go. Let that guilt and shame go. The only moment that matters is now. And what choices are you making now? Are you making the choice to get in that thinking cycle and go down that rabbit hole? Or are you making the choice to focus on what's good and what's beautiful and the joy? When we vibrate ourselves into that frequency of joy, that frequency of gratitude, that's when the miracles start to occur. That's when the synchronicities start to occur. And if you've noticed, when you are in those spaces of pure bliss, life is amazing and flowing and everything just seems to work out magically. And then we're sitting there expecting the other shoe to drop. What's going to go wrong now? Let go of that thinking. That's what causes those things to happen. When we think, I was that person, I was so self-destructive. When things started going really well in my life, I'd be like, oh my God, what's going to go wrong now? This is not normal for me, because it wasn't normal. But then I'd manifest those things. Something would go wrong. Something would go awry. Something would just not be good. Like there would be some huge catastrophe happen. And I realized that I was the creator of that. I created all that in my life because that was the energy I put out. As above, so below. As within, so without. The more we go within and the more we unknot those knots in our energy system, those traumas from this life and past life, the more we accept ourselves as who we are on a soul level, the more we will ascend. And there's no end point with ascension. Hi, Sherry, I love you. There's no end point for ascension. It's an ongoing process. Nobody's ever truly enlightened. We can walk this earth. The purpose of us being here, is to spread light. All of our purposes are different, but the fundamental purpose is to spread light and love and anchor more light into this earth plane. Clear our systems out so we can anchor more love light into our system, because those lower density energies like guilt and fear and shame and hate and distrust, they take up all the room and they don't allow the light to come in. So we have to open up and allow more light to come in. But we have this thing called free will. We have free will. So if we're not allowing it to happen, it's not just going to happen. So there is work that needs to be done. There's a balance between doing the work, setting the intention, and relaxing, releasing, and allowing. It's balance in the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, the sun and the moon. It's balancing everything, the earth and the sky. Everything is balance. So allow yourself to slow down, when you've done the healing. Allow yourself just to be when you need those moments, and allow those energies to come to you. Because if you're constantly running, they're never going to be able to catch you. If you're constantly running from things, the things will never find you. The things that you're meant, and you'll just keep in that karmic cycle. Anyway, I'm going to pull a card. Healing Circle next Wednesday. Super excited. I haven't done one for a couple months. So if anybody's interested in joining, they're always beautiful. There'll be an activation there. I guide through meditation. We clear the system. We go through all the chakras. We channel in so much divine light, so much love, so much beauty. And we just work on our healing. It's a great way to move through those speed bumps of life, ebb and flow. And when we come together as a collective in a group and do these group meditations over Zoom, they're so powerful. For one-on-one sessions, I've opened my books up for August. So if anybody's looking, I have limited availability up in August now. If you don't know where to find my books or my offerings, send me a PM through the group or through YouTube. There's the links below if you're in YouTube. If you're in my group, there's links at the top, or you can send me a message. And I'm happy to guide you where you need to go to see, and I'm always happy to answer questions. Anyway, I'm going to pull from my angel therapy cards today because that's what's here. So that's what Spirit wants us to pull from. So I just wanted to send out a big shout out. Love you to all of you. Have a beautiful weekend. I'm sure I'll be back on, but I'll be busy with my family. So we've had a couple cards come up. So you are a powerful light worker. We are all light workers. We just need to make room for that light to anchor it in, like I said. And it says, it's safe for you to be powerful, and your spiritual power brings great blessings in loving service to the divine. Keep shining the light. Keep healing. Don't bypass the healing. None of that bypassing spirituality shit. We need to feel into the messiness, to the mud. We need to work that mud and free it and clean it and allow for more light to flow in. Heart chakra. Very important to open our hearts, because most of us close our hearts off because we become so disconnected, because we've been so hurt, because we're so sensitive. And our heart chakra is what creates our Taurus field, our energetic magnet. It's our magnetic monopole. So when our heart's open and flowing, we're open to attracting miracles and love and abundance and everything we desire. It says the answer that you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. So many of us cut ourselves off from receiving. We give. We turn to martyrs, and we won't take back. So it has to be a balance, give and receive in everything. Energy has to be balanced in everything you do. And the sacral chakra, which was reversed. So it's extra important today. And it says you are highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. Our sacral is our seat of creativity, our seat of creation, sexuality, reproduction. The sacral is so important, and it's one of those chakras, those lower 3D chakras, hold so much trauma from this life and past. So work on that sacral chakra, that heart chakra, and realize that you are a light worker today. Give yourself a little extra love. Sunshine, go out in the sunshine or the rain, go walk barefoot. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Bye.